Okay, so thanks both of you joining today. You guys can hear me also, right? Oh, okay, okay. So can you see now? Yeah, okay. So can you see this screen like these letters? Okay, okay. Because this is just a picture I generated using AI, but that's why it's faded. So don't worry, this one I'll flip it over to you. This document end of the session. Okay. So just okay. I'll try to make little bigger. Okay. So as I mentioned before, so we cannot complete everything within 3 hours. I will just give you direction and roadmap how to practice what to do. So based on that, you guys can continue your practice. Again, I'm reminding you, to your success the major key is you. So you have to practice. You should be consistent. The success is consistency. So you have to keep on practicing. So if you keep on practicing, no one can stop you getting the job. Okay, so let's go through our agenda today. We'll start with uh, just to understand why do we need, because I see most of the students registered from different geographical location: India, UK, USA, and Canada. So that's why I did a research to just to find out, like, you guys already know, but just to provide what is the average salary for this job role, which is business analyst. And we will understand what does a business analyst do, like so many people talking about, like, what is a requirement, data, we need data, or what skills we need. We'll discuss in detail those items. And so I am focusing on major three things. So we have a role which is business analyst. In order to do this task, first we need to understand what does a business analyst do, right? Like responsibilities. To complete that responsibilities, what skills we need, that's the second part. So this is the role. What does a business analyst do? What skills we need? Tools come in third. So no one will be asking, like, okay, are you expert? Yes, they will ask, okay, 1 to 10 scale, 1 being 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Can you scale your SQL? Can you scale your can you grade your Jira or something? Some employer might looking, but most of the employers are they looking, do you have the right skills to complete the job? That's the main two question. This is already employers are giving, this is what we are expecting from you, right? These are what we need. So these are the skills. These skills are hidden. So we are not focusing on skill. We are, instead of focusing on skill, we are focusing on these guys, these tools. The tool is just a aid, right? Like a helper, right? The human skills come. These are the real skill to complete this one. So I would recommend you guys to focus on. I think someone joined. If I'm not wrong. Okay. So, I think someone joined. So your mic is, I just muted. Okay, I guess Durga or someone. Okay, so let's continue this one. So from there, and we will discuss the business. Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No worry. What's your name? Okay, okay, okay. So can you tell me quickly? We just complete the introduction. We just started. Okay, Prasad. So can you tell me your background, like why you, what you are currently doing, why you want to? All right. Okay. So you are coming from non-IT background, right? Like, all right. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So again, just a reminder, you don't need to take any notes. I'll share all the presentation note and this video end of the session. Okay. So you can just listen. If you have any question, just post in the chat or you just stop me, raise your hand. We can discuss. Okay. So we are just started and we are discussing the agenda, what we are going to cover today. Okay, so we will discuss the skills and we can discuss the tools, what tools you need, and I'll give you like a roadmap how you can accomplish this goal. Okay, and at least we need 7 days. This is what I can cover, but I just kept the same thing. I'll try to cover everything within this 3 hour. At least we need 3 hours to talk and practice this one, but I will try to cover within these 3 hours. Okay, so that's it. These are just repetitively tasks. So in this one we'll talk about mainly I'm planning to talk about software development life cycle, where the BAs fit in, because we are not focusing on, we are chasing these tools. Employers, they are looking in this one, like if you don't know how because your main goal is to coordinate with people, how software development, right? Like you are building apps, you are building website, you are building applications, you are building systems to help users, right? If you don't know how the software is being, yes, people are saying this is a non-technical role, you should have some understanding like how the computer application works. So again, I'm saying I am also coming from a non-technical background. It's not difficult to learn this one. So you don't need to take an engineering course, you don't need to take a computer science course, or you don't need to take hour and hour course. Just understand how the computer is working, basic, like you give a input is kind of a data, system process, which is the processing, business logic, we are expecting some result, right? So we'll discuss. So if you don't know this fundamental basic, like how the basic computer application work, it's very hard to like work with developers, right? Very hard to work with testers, because they are more technical, they don't understand, they do understand, so they will ask something in technical terms, like what response I should send, how do I build this platform, what is the request, what is the method, what is the error handling scenario, right? Like they will start speaking those kind of language, right? And also tester, also they will come up with, okay, what tool I should use, acceptance criteria is not clear, like should I use Postman, can I do functional testing, can I use API testing, right? So that's why we clearly know this one, you guys can work on, right? Like it's not something big, this skills we can develop, like analytical thinking, communication, problem solving, tools, this come from the project. This, when you start working with people, you can develop these skills. Tools, yes, you can learn from your own pace, that's what you are focusing on always, right? So you need to understand the fundamental, how the computer application is built, and what other people need, like the development team or engineering team or the quality assurance team. So that's what today my focus is discuss about this software development pipeline, software development life cycle, right? Every business, every thing, like even cooking also, there is a recipe, right? Like if you want to cook something, there's a recipe, you have to follow step by step, then you'll get the food, right? Like if you want to learn driving, you have to follow a detailed step. So every task, there is a detailed step you, in order to achieve, you should follow. So in order to become a business analyst, we don't need to code, but we need to understand how the software is built, how the software is behaving. Okay, so that's the main key part of our workshop today. We'll work together, I'll give you a question and you can we can build this one together, not listening. Okay, so then we'll discuss some major responsibility of business analyst, this requirement and requirement gathering, and some BE artifacts you guys already know, BRDs, user stories and acceptance criteria. So one thing business analyst day to day is doing, writing user stories, working with developers and testers and business. So if you learn that one thing, right, writing user story and how to add acceptance criteria, you are more than enough to start your job. I'm not saying this is enough, but you cannot learn everything whatever is exist on the internet, right? Like so if you see some job description, like the I'll tell you one story. Like one time I was applying, this is something related to uh, data science. So the tool was new, but the job posting is saying we need 7 years experience. So I asked my prof, like, I know you mentioned this this tool is new to the market. We just it just came 1 or 2 year, but I saw a job posting saying 7 years or 10 years something. So prof said, like, this is how these jobs descriptions are written by the writers, right? So we don't need to worry how many years experience we need there. Can you execute that tool? Can you use that tool to complete the business task, whatever we are doing, right? So that's how you have to use the tool. So don't pay more attention to the tool, learn the skills to complete the responsibility. Okay, so instead of you focus on BRDs, FRDs, other BE artifacts, I would recommend you learn the current process, what is doing business manual. uh, Go with the future solution. So current state, future state, these two. And third one is process mapping. Like, can you plot in a diagram? Can you see the big picture, right? These three very important, which is current state, future state, and diagramming. So that's the flow diagramming I'm talking about. Then write user story and acceptance criteria. This is your starting point. Instead of you focus lot of things right now, like tools, skills, and how long it will take. This is what your day-to-day task. Okay, so I'm going to start with um, talking about our how much you can get for this role. Like, we are going to spend a lot of time on this one, right? Next, I don't know, so if you ask me how long will take to study these skills, at least minimum, if you pay, like I ask you in the email, like, can you spend 30 minutes? So don't think I will start 3 hours per day. That's not going to happen, never going to happen. So one day you will start and you will say, okay, no problem, I still have time, I'll do tomorrow 6 hours. Then day after tomorrow you'll think, okay, today is Friday and let me finish the weekend, I'll start on Monday. So it's never going to happen if you set like a unachievable goal. So my request is, start with 10 minutes or 15 minutes. If you can sit one place and do without scrolling your phone or like touching other browsers, 15 minutes is more than enough. Consistency is goal, right? Like understand, write few steps of a current process, right? Like, you don't need to find many use cases. Like, if you have a banking app, if you are buying something from Amazon or Flipkart, or if you are ordering food or something, I'll teach you, like, write 5 steps. How do you reach to that um, purchase, right? To the cart, right? 5 step current state. Do you think you need enhancement? Like, sometimes you are saying, I wish this site could have that option, right? What is that wish, right? That's your future state. Can you write 5? So today start only doing that one. If you are success tomorrow, okay, while you are traveling, while you are waiting for someone, right? Like, you have your phone pretty much, right? So you can just write it in your notepad. You don't need a computer, you don't need a perfect place, right? So but if you can do with a perfect time, like every day same place same time, that's ideal, right? So but currently you are working or studying, whatever your position is, but don't wait for the perfection. I'll do if I have this one. So that if I have never will come back to you. So you start what you have, right? So I would recommend you to start that practice, right? Writing any current state, right? I'll show you how to write current state as is, and write the future state, what you wish to have for this application, this website, this app, right? And try to write 3 lines only, write the user story and write the acceptance criteria. Share it in the communities, put it in the chat, like go to, I'll create a community post there, and you can practice in the channel, like you can share, because all, no, don't think what will I happen if I post the wrong one, right? Like everyone, I would say everyone is the beginner when they started this job, right? No one pay you, no one going to underestimate you, no, don't think about other people opinion. What is it matter for you, go for it, right? So like you can post, even you do incomplete thing, that's okay. Whenever I am frequently checking the messages and notification and everything, so I'll reply you, hey, instead of this one, you could have written like that, right? So that's your learning, right? So you correct it and rewrite the user story, post it there, rewrite your story, then move on to the acceptance criteria. Okay, move on to the draw a simple flowchart diagram for the steps you have written, you post it in the chat, our community post. I'll take a look and I'll give my feedback. So that how you can build together, and also you can show this as a proof to your employer also. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So if there is no question, yeah, go ahead. So today, for today is only for today. So I'll see if you guys needed like many other workshop. Like I will try to, what I'm doing. I'm planning to try to make separate, like because everyone has a unique skill, right? Like as I mentioned, so you guys can connect with me individually. See uh, if what is your desire, like okay, which state you are. Some people are already working, some people are not working, some people are having career break. So based on that, when I you can message me on YouTube or like a LinkedIn, and if I have enough people, I can have couple of workshop, like maybe for 1 week. Like previously I think I did for 10 days or 1 week, and based on your requirement, if you need any help, for sure, if I am available, definitely I will help you, or otherwise I will record it offline and I will upload it to you. Okay, but I am here, I will always support. One thing I want to recommend you, start doing. Don't, okay, wait for the theory, don't wait for the note. What if you listen, if you learn something, start actioning, right? That's the main point. Okay, just post it there and I can take a look, because I am here, I can provide my all the support and help if you guys start working on. Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay, so this is just a comparison. I know we are students are joining from you guys can still see my screen, right? Yes. Okay, okay. Just to make sure. Okay, so this recording is going. Okay, so I don't know, like maybe this is accurate, because I can 100% tell US and Canada. I just took it this data from internet only, but if it is wrong, but just to give an idea, you guys can also search and get an idea. Uh, so you are looking, you can apply if you are already having some kind of domain knowledge, you can directly apply for senior business analyst, or you can, if you never worked on any kind of job, so you can start with business analyst, like mid-level. uh, don't apply any junior positions, so just apply for business analyst, or like try to apply senior business analyst if you see 2 year 3 year experience. Don't worry. Okay, so I would recommend you start with a startup company, like a startup company. They don't post jobs on internet, they don't post jobs on LinkedIn, because that costs money, right? So your networking should start from your friends. How many contact do you have on your phone? Can anyone tell, like, can I ask one of you, how many contacts do you have? 200 plus. Okay, thank you. Okay, I want you guys to start with 10. Okay, so Prasad, can you mute your mic? I think. Sorry? I ask how many friends or how many people you know, like how many contact do you have in your phone? That's okay. So why I ask that question? Okay, start with 10 people. Okay, like most closely, like I think even you have 200, 300, 100 contact. No, like everyone is not going to respond same way, right? Like start with 10 contact. Like you think these people will stand for you, right? So just do not send any resume. Just spread the word. Hey, um, right now I'm practicing, or like I am exploring avenues like to land in a job in IT. Some people, if you say BA business analyst, they don't understand the job role even, right? So you just say I'm taking some practice. Don't take I'm course or like reading something. Just say I'm I'm in a part try to become like so when let's say let's put it this way. Okay, I started learning driving, right? Like you say today, after 1 month also, if someone if your friend might, hey, how is your driving course is going? Now I am able, now I can drive. Did you get the license? Not yet, but I can drive, right? If you start a swimming class, you say, yeah, um, I started swimming class. How's the swimming? I love it, right? So I want you to have that conversation, right? Like with your friend circle. Just say, hey, dude, I started like practicing project management. Just say, like people don't know what is business analysis or anything. Just say project management in IT, right? If you know any contact, if you know anyone working in software development, right, use this exact word, software development. Let me know because I will be looking for a job very soon. That's it. You don't need to share any detail. One line. Hey, just say, do your regular chat. Hi, hello, good morning. Just say I started something looking into project management in software development. Like they will ask, what do you mean software development? Just say building apps, building websites, something like that. You have to explain the way they understand. You are not explaining to them SDLC business analyst requirement. No, just say building apps, building applications, websites, something like that, software development, project management. So they will ask, do you know how to code? You can say not exactly. This is kind of you don't need to explain more detail. Yeah, it's kind of I know some basic tools, but I want to go to IT. If you know anyone, do you know anyone? Like you have to ask that. Do you know anyone? You can start that question. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll if I know anyone, I will recommend or I will refer you. Right. So that message spread to, let's say you have 10 people and you tell to 10 people including your father, mother, family, friends, everyone you tell. Okay, and they will ask, could you please ask at least 3 or 5 of your friends, right? So same message they can convert, they can tell to their 5 people, so this will reach to at least 1500. Sky is the limit, right? Like if you have a good rapport with your friend or someone, they'll spread. Sometimes they will not tell because they don't like you are getting to IT, they want to be in sales or something, right? Like it's okay, you cannot, like cannot people change, you can just influence, right? Like you just ask, right? And when you go for church or temple, see people, go to supermarket, local community, like chat with the sales guy, chat with the security guard, chat with anyone, right? Just say hi, hey. When you go to the bank, like this is how I started also, right? When you go to the bank, like don't ask any job, like do your regular banking, whatever you plan to do. Hey, I was wondering, like, how can I share my I completed or I'm completing my project manager software development project management. Like, is there any option like volunteering or like a workshop I could attend? Like, no asking job there. Just say knowledge session. So banks, they always conduct like a volunteering session, knowledge sharing session for the community. So just register, and also you can go to the local community church or somewhere. There are community centers. You can ask, teach like seniors or like other people, small kids, like IT. Like if you're asking, what shall I teach? I don't know. Also IT. Teach what you know. That's it. Like you don't need to take a course or anything. Pretty much you don't need to have a course or anything there. Like you can go and share your knowledge, and you can spread the message in your community. So that's how you can start marketing instead of you wasting time applying thousands of applications. So that's one side. LinkedIn, I don't need to tell you, like choose in your category, like how many people you know, like see profile. If you want to work in ICICI, one bank, you want to work, I don't know company names in UK, but any company you want to work, it's a government office or anything. Like if you see people, or you can go to pretty much in LinkedIn, and you can search business analyst, whatever domain you want. See, just say you are not asking any job, just look at the profile and say, okay, I'm practicing project management, software development. Okay, so I want to learn, like I want to learn what you do day to day, right? Something like that, right? So no asking direct question, like the contact is important, right? So once you add the contact, if that company is posting something job, or you see recruiters, right, posting, you get a notification. That's how you can build your community, like to get your first job. Okay, so this is just a comparison. So I am telling you, can, this is a good paying job, and also it's a nice, cool and job if you love to talk to people. If you are, if you are allowed to talk people, if you love to write more, this is a really, really cool job. You will never feel bored and stressed. This, I would recommend you, like so if you are you don't need to be good communicator, right? Like there is nothing like a proper or anything. Everyone will learn in the project, right? So if you like people, work with people. So this is a people role, right? Like day to day you have to talk to many people. Your 8 hour filled with full meetings, right? Like you talk to people, convincing people, and try to build solution. Not only one person you are going to talk, right? IT team, and operations team, and customer care team, right? So this is a human interaction. There are a lot of human interactions. So if you want, if you love talking to people, this job is for you, right? And also little bit writing. Whatever you are talking, you have to document also. Okay, so start with, I don't know if this, Emmanuel, this salary is applicable for your area, but you can do a research. Okay, like I don't know which position are you try to apply, business analyst or senior, not for sure this one, but based on your company. So this is very important. If you don't know, this is the one is going to drive the motivation to complete your whatever 1 hour or 30 minutes. So that's why I'm showing this one first. Write it on your laptop, write it on your desk, write it on your phone. This is the salary I will get if I work hard for 3 months. That's it. So if you don't have this motivation, that's why all of my session I will start showing first this one. All right, guys. Any question on the salary expectation? Because you have to know how much salary you should ask in a job interview. So I would say if you are in India, like I don't know, just look at the salary, whatever the website is available, decide it's 18 lakhs or 20 lakhs or 12 lakhs. Do a small quick research, be confident, right? Like, because why you want to know the salary? Let's say three people hired, okay, three people qualified, you also one of you, and now HR is asking how much salary is expectation. So that they will ask definitely. So you said 12 lakhs, the other guy said 15 lakhs, and another guy said 20 lakhs, right? All three are having equal and qualification. All three are good profile. So business always want to select the, that's how you buy a product, right? You go to market, you will ask, if you pay $1, you will ask like can I get discount, can I get more, right, for whatever money you are paying. So that's how business also negotiate, because you are offering 10 lakh, the other guys 15, 18, right? Like why they have to pay more? They don't need to. So you are not asking low, you are not asking high. So because what you are doing, you are asking the right amount, because that's what they have in their budget also, right? So that's the benefit of knowing the salary before you go to the interview, because this has happened to a couple of students. That's why I'm sharing. Okay, so based on your category, if you are in India, like I don't know, maybe target like 15 or 12, I don't know how many years, how much you can get, but make sure you do this analysis and have a fixed number based on your job you are applying. So for you, Emmanuel, also, like I don't have accurate number, these are all coming from internet, these are average number. Make sure you have your number before you apply. Okay, Canadian student and US student, you guys already know, I shared in many shorts, like how much salary we can expect. Like if you are starting, you can ask, for sure you can ask 65,000 and above as a beginner, and no experience, zero experience. And but if you have at least one project, like definitely you can ask 75,000, 85,000, between that range. And yeah, for sure you are lead or senior, 100k and above, right? Like if you are less experienced but you worked on multiple projects with a shorter time, you can go above 100,000 and above. Okay, um, any question on the salary, guys? Yeah, yeah. Yes, definitely. Because I started in the bank. Yes, that's the benefit. You already have a job. So I'll tell you how to convert your current operations or sales or whatever position you are doing, how you can convert slowly into IT role. We'll discuss those four. Okay, just remind me before we hang up the call. Okay. 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 No worries. Okay. So I'm not narrowing down to any geographical location, okay? But I search on like what these are coming from actual job post. This one, okay? Job description. Before I tell you, like I have been telling you these are required, but let's do a research, fair research on the internet, and let's find out from the actual job posting what information. Uh, did I lose you guys? Did I lose you guys? No, right? Okay, it's. Oh, okay. 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 So let me do this one. So I'll. Okay. So what I will do, if this call end, I will call you guys manually. Okay. So I can add you to the call. Okay. So yes. So let me write down who we are on the call. Uh, can you type your email ID on the chat so that I can call manually? Sorry, I didn't know that this call will end within. Okay. Uh, okay, so we have, I will add you, Durga Prasad and Manoj and Emmanuel, right? Okay. Let's hang up the call right now, and I will call you manually, okay? So just please join this call, okay? I'm going to end this call. Okay. Okay, so we are going to discuss what is the common responsibility of BA, what actually BA expected to do. Okay, so these are coming from actual job search from these four countries. So common responsibility is like gather requirements, right? Like we know we're going to discuss what is gather requirements, understand the current business problem and document them. So this is what I'm talking about, current state and the future state. Analyze gap between current state and the future state. This is very important. This is what we are hired for. Okay, and write business artifacts. So I see this PRD lot, especially in Indian job descriptions, but US, Canada, if you are going to work in Agile, we don't write any BRDs. We are more focused on Agile, which is we are writing user story. So sometimes there is no clear direction how to write BRD. Some BRDs 100 pages, 200 pages, 150 pages those days before Agile introduced. So as a beginner, I would recommend you not to focus on too much on BRD and FRDs. Just focus on understand the current state and the future state, how to write the do the analysis like the gap analysis, SWOT analysis, Moscow technique, using those kind of techniques, and write the current state and future state in Word, and draw a diagram and write a user story in Jira and acceptance criteria. That's it. So when you understand that one, then you can easy to write these two guys, BRDs and FRDs. Okay. So these are asking again and again in the job description, and also they are talking about Agile ceremony. Yes, you have to know Agile, and also they're mentioning you have to work with developers, testers, and product owners. And also they're asking support for user acceptance testing. So you have to know like some kind of testing, how to do testing, and how to write requirements and how to document them. These are the main thing, right? So if you, let's put it this way, so you have to know how to write user stories, and you have to know how to work with a development team or the testing team, and you have to know like some testings. There are three main tasks: writing user stories, working with people, interact with a cross-functional team or your own team, and support testing. These are the main three goals of your business analyst. Okay, so Indian job, they are mainly focusing detailed documentation, BRD, FRDs, and working with offsite or like on-site clients. UK, I don't understand these things, but I just copy and paste it from the job description. So Emmanuel, you have to take a look what are the requirement. For the Canada, it's pretty much like we need user stories, like working in agile environment, some domain knowledge. Okay, so next one, the core business analysis. This is not only for the all countries, like everywhere they're asking requirement elicitation, and so gap analysis. Start from the gap. What is the gap? Why is manual? Like how we can convert into digital. So this is again and again all the job posting I see is stakeholder management. So here you see current status, current state, user story mapping as so it's the same thing, only again and again they're asking. And also these two are very important from my side. SDLC, how the software development pipeline is working, how the agile is working. So these two, SDLC, agile, along with this detail. Okay, soft skills, communication, confidence, asking the right question, presentation. So that's why I said, if you like to talk to people, yes, this is job is for you, right? Like no one can teach you pinpoint, okay, this is how you communicate, this is how you write in the meetings, or this is how you, yes, you can get a reference, but you have to build your own version of this one, right? How to, because when you are working with people, there are always conflict opinion, right? So as a coordinator, you have to be like guide these people, support these people, and ask the fact and make an informed decision, right? So these soft skills are, don't worry, I'm going to send everything. That's why instead of typing, I put it in this Word document. I'm going to flip it out to you all, everything. Technical skills, like it's based on your domain. You can pick up and you can ask, do I need to learn API, do I need to learn microservices, do I need to learn SQL? Yes, if you are going to build softwares, definitely you have to learn technical component, not for the coding, right? Like let's say you are going to sell cars, right? If you don't know about cars, how you going to talk to your customers? Let's say you want to work in a restaurant as a waiter or like a chef. If you don't know about the food you are making, how you can give a recommendation to your guest? Like even when you guest choose a meal, they will ask what is the most selling dish here, like something like that. Do you have any suggestion? So that's why, even this is not a non-technical role, I recommend you, right? Like people are saying it's a non-technical role, but it's a technical role. I would say it's IT role. You have to have understanding how the computer components are working and what are their names and what is the behavior, what is the expected result. You have to have understand that one. You don't need to code. This just reading and memorizing. When you start working, you'll understand. Yes, definitely you need to learn um, how the backend work, how the front end work, how the business logic work, how the databases and other layers are working. Definitely I will recommend you have to learn. That's why you cannot rush it and you will not never get the job. So you have to learn properly this command. Next one, so this is the project management tool, right? Like a project management tool, it's pretty much free. You can use your Jira and Gmail account to log into Jira, Confluence. So here, this is where you write your user stories, and this is where you document your project details. So some other tools are mentioned in all countries, but mainly focus on Jira and Confluence. These are the common tools. Document, pretty much your best friend is Excel and Word. So I guess you guys are already using these three. Okay. And process diagramming. So diagramming, you can start with Miro. Miro, I recommend you. In office environment, we use Visio or like some, I forgot the name, but there are some tools, Miro, and now there are so many AI tools in the companies you can use, but at least start with this guy or this one, Miro, just to learn. Okay. Data reporting tool, and if you see some jobs are asking, I see they're asking SQL, they're asking Power BI, Tableau, Excel, this kind of thing. It's nice to have, but it's not mandatory. So again, I'm saying your main job, when I started, I said, right, main job is not to learn the tool, learn the skills to do the job, this one, right? These skills. So you are learning the task, what task BA is doing, and develop the skills, not the tools. So tools is just like a helper, like your calculator. So don't focus more on whatever free tool is available, you can go with that. Okay. Next question, how long does it take to become a business analyst? Right, short answer, at least you need to practice 1 hour, 3 months. You can break into IT like 1 to 2 hour. I put it 1 to 2 hour, but start with 15 minutes. That's the main area. Okay. It's suitable for this job, career gap, like you worked somewhere and due to family issues or like a family emergency, you took a break. This can work, right? Like that's how everyone. So career gap, it's okay. You don't need to worry what to put in the resume. Okay, so let's say you completed your bachelor 2000 and 10 years you didn't work. Can I start the job? Yes, you can start the job, because you pretty much, you just need to have why clients are hiring, why employers are hiring. Can you add value to them? That's it. How you can develop a value? Building some skills, right? Like right now you have knowledge only. That's not enough to add value, right? Take one example of so let's take one chef. Okay, so this chef want to cook, he wants to cook. So what he do, he go to some classes. Okay, he take notes, read, or like practice, somehow you gather knowledge. So now the chef has knowledge only. So the chef has knowledge only, step one, right? So this knowledge is not enough to sell something. Can you buy, if someone is working or like he doesn't know how to cook his meal, can you buy from him? No, you will not buy, right? So this is you now. You have some knowledge like what is BRD, FRD. No one will buy from you, which means no one will hire you, right? You are confused what to do. So what you want to do, you have to create a product or service. You have to be a brand, personal brand, right? Like right. So this guy, now let's say he liked to make burgers. Okay, so he developed a skills to how to develop burgers. Is there any other burgers in the market? Plenty, right? Why customer wants to buy from this chef particularly? What is the story of this chef? You have to have a story. This chef has to have a story to sell, right? Because it's not something very unique. It's just common. Like people can learn to cook, and you cannot open a shop directly without having a prototype or sample, immediately sell. No one will buy. So is like that only. You have a knowledge now. So you have some basic knowledge. This is you. So you have some knowledge now, and you try to apply this one, and you try to apply the job. No one will give you a job. Think you as a business. So you are a business, the company is client or customer. Are you going to buy from anyone like this? No, right? You will not buy from this because there is no value to your customer. Why people are hiring you? To make their workflow easy or faster, to add value to their customers. So more happy customer, more business they are going to bring, right? So you are not adding any value. You just have some knowledge only. So how do you convert your knowledge? How do you convert your knowledge into skills? So what you need to do, you need to practice here. What to practice? Whatever the knowledge you gain, SDLC, Agile, BRD, all the artifacts, you have to practice. So once you practice, what you will get? You get skills. That's what I show you first, right? So you understand what to do. You know what meal to cook here, right? What you need to cook, you understand. So once you gather this knowledge, you are practicing. When you practice, what you will get? This one. So when you practice, you will get your skills. So you get your skills. Is that enough? No. So you need to have a sample product. So how to build a sample product or service? So you have to be SME of what? So this guy, you see there are chef example. This chef can learn to cook many things. Chinese, like pasta, Italian, burger, pizza, anything, right? Like he specialized only one thing, burger or some like this kind of fast food item. And he will cook more burgers for family, friends, and they give a feedback. Wow, it's really good, really good, really good. You should open a restaurant. You should go for somewhere work, right? So chef get a confirmation. So chef is adding values. So chef started add values. People like, right? That's a confirmation. So he knowledge, practice, and convert it into skills here. So that's what the chef get, skills. Now it's value. Knowledge, skills, value. So same, you have a knowledge, practice. Practice mean like do the stories, do the process making by yourself, right? So that when you practice, you get your skills. When you have your skills, you can create a product. So what you are SME of? So let's say I think Manoj or Prasad, someone told he's working in the bank, right? Like he is kind of having a knowledge now, right? Like whatever. Can I ask you what you are actually doing, Prasad or Manoj, if you are comfortable to share? Like, are you work with customers? Operations in the bank. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, so he has kind of a he's not a SME, but he's helping customer because someone already built. Uh, so what is a business? If you understand the business process, you see, business is problem solving place, right? So business is an entity where can solve customer problem, right? Like they offer service or product. Can understand. So what product they're selling? Okay, let's say they're selling mortgages. They're lending money to customer, not broadcast service or product. Okay, service or product. So they're selling some kind of product. Okay, like they give money or they help education, right? They provide credit card, opening bank or deposit, something they're providing. That's the product. So our friend, he's working, he's providing a service. He's trying to sell this service, provide this product to customer by helping. So he is getting know about this product more, because that's what, if he doesn't know about this product, whatever he is working on the sales operation, he cannot sell this product, right? So now he is kind of having a knowledge and he is practicing and he's kind of gaining a skills here. So now next step, he need to move into add value. How we can add value? He need to simulate, right? He need to simulate like our chef, right? Now he has an idea, he gathered. So knowledge can become, you can work in somewhere, or you can take a course, you can read something, it doesn't matter. So to become a BA, now he knows what skills, what is the responsibility of BA. He get an idea, so he will create a value this type of customer. So let's say the bank using application. He was asking, right, how I convert my experience, sales or present skills into it. So they are using a software to sell this product to customer. So he is more familiar of that enterprise software. So what you can do, he can participate in UAT, user active. So he can start writing test cases. He can start writing defects. Like let's say I something they are selling, that feature is not example. Every time when customer want to upload a document, they have to send an email to them, right? Like in there, let's say he is selling credit card. Okay, so let's say he's selling credit card. We don't want to get into actual product. He's selling credit card. So when they apply for the credit card, yes, they can upload it on the portal if the customer is uploading. If the customer is visiting the branch, they have to give the document to our friend. So that's not nice, right? So he is thinking, I wish there should be an option to upload button. Customer can upload all the document there, so that it should come to not my email. There are 4 people working in his team. It should come to a queue. So whoever is available, they can take that customer application, they can review and approve do the process, something like that, right? So he can start writing those kind of user manuals, enhancement request kind of thing, right? So that's how he start practicing creating his own burger, creating his own meal, right? So when you create few samples, he's already recognized. So he already not only knowledge, he converted the knowledge into skills and he is adding value. Now this is the proof. No one will buy without proof. If you don't give a sample, do you buy anything without reading a Google review or something? No, right? You don't buy anything. Same. So you are a business. You are going to sell your time and knowledge to a company. Company is the customer. Will they buy? Why they have to buy from you? Aren't there any other good business offering their time and value? Yes, there are plenty of ton of them. Why they have to come and hire you? Are you providing enough value to them? What is your story? So if I ask you which brand is phone, you like Samsung or you like iPhone? Anyone? Can you hear me, guys? Yeah. What brand do you like? Samsung or iPhone? Yeah. You like Samsung, right? Okay. Pepsi or Coke? Which one you like? So when we are talking about brand, like you know what is a brand is, right? Like you heard that brand, many people are using it. You feel like kind of a royalty. Okay, if I use a Samsung, if I use iPhone or I use a Mac or whatever the brand, okay, oh wow, the society is going to accept it, right? Like same, you should have a value before you go to the job market. It's not like you are trying still figure it out how to cook the meal. So you have to have your story. I would say stories with the SME. So I am expert in building systems modernization, technological platform, like all legacy code to upgrading to modernized platform like microservices, cloud platforms, data migrations. That's my brand, right? I didn't come like, okay, I learned this everything from the first day from the university. No, right? Like when you start cooking like a small burger, like here, Prasad, right? So Prasad start servicing his client, right? He know the product. He learned the enterprise software, whatever the bank is using. He start creating some sample proofs. How about other guys? Like if you are not working, you are a student. It doesn't matter sample project. Like take a project like similar to whatever he's saying. Okay, you have the knowledge. Take think like, okay, can I write a software? Like you are not writing the software, you are writing a proposal. Can I build a software for upload picturing like Instagram, like something, right? Can I build something? If you go to hospital, you have to wait like for a long time, doctor office, right? Can I build something like online booking so that we don't need to stand in the queue? Can you go to government office, you have to wait so long, right? Like can I build something, right? That's the thinking, right? Start, you can search, there are tons of projects you can create. So you are not coding, you are just writing your proposal. This is how it should behave, this is how I'm expecting. So what you are doing, your knowledge you are converting into skills. When you show to couple of people, hey, this is what I built in social media, this is, you are not writing the code, you are just proposal, you are writing the BRD, you are writing the user story, you are creating the diagram, flow chart, and share it in the LinkedIn, share it in the GitHub, and provide the link, right? So your knowledge you convert it into skills by practicing. How you can convert your skills into value? When you start showing to other people and other people start recognizing. So what the chef did, he cooked, and he give to his family and friends. So his knowledge becomes skills, and his family and friends start recognizing. So that's become the experience. Experience become the value. So now he can start his own, or he can go to work. So again, everyone can do this thing. No one, no need to wait for anyone. Like I'll, it doesn't matter where he cook. He cook for another restaurant, or he can open his own restaurant. Right, same thing. No need to wait for someone will give you a job and I'll start writing this one. No, it doesn't. There is no difference with production or non-production. I'm telling, this is the same thing. We are using Jira, we are using Confluence. This is how we work. In my videos, many times I show you this is how we work in production. It's nothing different. This is how I gather requirements. There is no clear explanation how do you gather requirement, because it's not ideal. We are not gather requirement from machines. We are talking to humans. We cannot predict how the humans can. Yes, we have a common understanding what question we can ask. It's based on the conversation. No one can pre-record it and teach you, hey, this is how the meeting should go, this is how the meeting will be there. Yes, everyone is sharing their experience, but your experience is going to be different. So what best practice you can have? You should be the best communicator to handle any conversation. That's it. How many courses you can take? You can take 1 course, 2 course, 100 course. No course is required. If you can talk to your family, people and friends, if they say, hey, I like to listen, hey, I want to pick your brain. If they're asking some advice, ask, okay, listen to people first and then talk, right? It's not overriding. You're just waiting and before okay, sorry to cut you up, and you are going. That cannot happen, right? So your job is listen and try to align, try to agree to that people, and take what's the fact, what is available, what is good for the customer. Or like a person is asking question, it's not mean what you know. You are not try to force your ideas to other people, right? Like that's why. So your value mean not, the value is not for you, for other people. So that's how you can, anyone can do this one. Any job, software development, you can be a coder, you can be a data scientist, you can be a data analyst, you can be a business analyst, any job. You pretty much know what to do, right? Like you get your skills here, sorry, you know what is the responsibility, and start gathering knowledge, convert the knowledge into skills by practicing, and create samples. When samples are accepted by your family and friends and other people, that become experience. It's not spending 1 year in a company. That's one more thing. So what's the difference between experienced and non-experienced person? The experienced person can execute their job response, the task seamlessly, because it's kind of a second nature, like because he did many times, again and again and again. So he can do the job like seamlessly. That's why we ask experts, right? SMEs, experience. That's what people are looking for. Clients are trying to buy experienced people. So how do you become experienced if you don't get offered? This is the first question I had. Please give me a job. I'll show my work. I'll gain the experience. No one will accept, because the competition, too much applications. So companies have choice to select the right guy. Like we do also. If you want to buy a phone, you shop 100 places, review thousands reviews. Based on your budget, based on your requirement, you will buy. Because as a consumer, you have option. It's not mean only one phone available in the market, right? So that's why you have to be a brand. What is your brand? What is your story? It's all start from mindset. If you think you cannot do, definitely you will be not doing. So you have to shift your mindset. Forget about your experience, forget about your tools, forget about your what accent you are using, how do you talk, forget about everything. Your main responsibility is your job responsibility, right? Like what the job role is required. Can you create BE artifact? Yes, you can create. Can you communicate and can you solve a problem? That's the best option, I would say, right? Okay, so enough there. So your learning journey. Okay, so let's quickly look. Phase one. Some people will say, did someone drop? Oh, did we lose the call? I heard something. Oh, okay, okay, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can give you the difference. That's what we are going to discuss today. Okay, so let's take this is your homework. Okay, this is your assignment. Again, I'm saying major success to your career is you. Okay, no, people will tell so many things on the internet, on the book. It's not if you don't convinced by yourself because you are the best judge, right? If you don't convince, if you are not happy, don't do it, right? So here is what I recommend from my experience and learning books and teaching many students. This is what I recommend you to start doing. So you understand, read the job description. That's why always if someone is asking what is the job description, what actually do in your job, right? Like you are applying for the government job, you are applying for the bank job, read 10, 15 job description. What actually does that business analyst? We shared all the common practices. It's good to start common, but if you are starting any specific role, study that job description. So you have to understand what is the responsibility. That's what I used, right? This is not negotiable, non-negotiable. Everyone must learn. What is STLC? What is Agile? What is Waterfall? So one technique I would say, don't start what you don't know. Start what is required, right? 20-80% rule, right? 20% of the knowledge will come, like 80% of result, right? Like instead of you learn 100%, you cannot finish. No one learn everything 100%. You guys are spending like many months to gather knowledge. You don't need, just you learn something, have a clear roadmap, start the job right now. So I would, this is my recommendation, start with Agile, forget about Waterfall, start writing user story, learn SDLC, software development life cycle, and we're gonna take a look what is software development, and learn Agile ceremony, start applying, so you can learn from that job also. Okay, and how to work with BAs, the developers and testers. And requirement here, this is what I'm telling, understand the requirement, write the user story and accept it. This is what you need. Get the requirement, okay, what's the business stakeholder want, can I write a user story from this requirement, maybe one or two use, and can I add acceptance criteria. That's it, basic communication you need. So this your first uh, page. So understand the BA language, what can explain to the BA interest. These are your pretty much your core skills you need in your first page. Can you do, guys, when you practice? This will take at least like you see, I am telling as a beginner 4 weeks. Can people earn $1 million per year? Yes or no? They can, right? And can person earn like 100 million per month? Yes, they can, right? So that means the dollar value, the money value come from how much value you add to the person wherever you are serving, right? Same thing. I am recommending 4 weeks. Can you make 10x, 4x, 5x, 10x, right? You can do it in 1 week, you can do it in 1 hour, you can do it in 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 week. It's up to you. You can do it in 1 week, 2 week, 3. But my recommendation, do it in 4 weeks. So if I say 4 week, 1 hour, 2 hour, again, don't stress yourself. I'm saying start from slow. That's a human nature, right? If it is task is very small, it's achievable. If it is huge, non-achievable. It's like a New Year resolution. You will leave it. So that's why I put 4 hours. Make sure you do it. Start with small. Okay. So next page, now let's say you know how to write. I am not saying BRD, FRD, nothing. Get a requirement, you understand this one, spend time 1 or 2 week here, and then come to get a requirement, write a user stories and acceptance criteria. That's it. While you are working, so here we just need only Word and Excel or Jira. That's it. Okay. Phase 2, second month you go and learn the technique, JD sessions, like workshops, right? These are all kind of recommendations. There is no specific label, big room planning, you name it, right? The joint session, work session, job shadowing, you name it. Everything it's going to be different. It's not whatever I'm telling or some people are there telling. Yes, there are common practices, but it's going to be unique experience, different experience. But this is one thing you will start learning, you will start, that's why you have to narrow down your search. Second one, this we talk a lot, BRD and FRD, and I posted many videos, but I would recommend you to have a template. If it is required in your country, keep a template, that's it. And just try to fill up that template first, then you can build. If I say this is how you create a BRD and you heard from somewhere else, that person is saying, no, that's wrong. BRD should be 150 pages. Now you are scratching your head and try to write the BRD for 150 pages and you lost everything, all the moment. I would say do 20% to get 80% of result. Not 80% do to get the 20%. This is kind of a 20%, 80 bigger job. So instead of you focus on, how do you write if you don't understand the requirement, right? So how do you write functional requirement if you don't understand business? So that's why write your user story, 3 line only. Write your acceptance criteria. It's like a test case. Validate this one. Validate its login is working or not. Very simple, plain English. As a user, I want a login button so that I can log in to the website. It's very simple writing. It's like you are ordering food in a restaurant, right? From the user perspective. This is like a quality assurance, definition of that. How do you make sure I can order food from online app? Something people can understand. Don't mix with so many technical language. That's why you hide, make simplicity. Write in very simple language. Business communication. Okay. So now let's assume you understand these guys. Okay. So here you already learned acceptance criteria, user story. So here business process, current versus future. Okay, basic agile ceremonies. So now let's move on. These are the outcome, and also you can take a look these tools. It's again and again they're asking. I'm just checking time. Okay, and next one we'll start with what students should practice here, right? End-to-end project. End-to-end project, students are always asking, how can you help me to build a end-to-end project? Can you help me to build a sample project or portfolio? Again, sample portfolio, there are tons. You can start with cinema booking, you can start with aeroplane booking, you can start with doctor appointment booking. So whatever business problem you are facing, like day to day you are using, right? You are log into your student portal, you log into your work portal. See if you can write something for you, for your like suggestion. You have AI help, you have Google help, you have so many help, right? Like I can give you an idea, you can validate, right? You can start a community post, like you start a chat from one of our video. You can just, hey guys, I try to build let's say I try to build for like how to find a job, like I try to how to search automatically like a business analyst job for banking positions, right? Maybe you create a AI or you create an app or something like that. Come up with innovative idea. You can pretty much watch and see, is there something existing, so you can model it. You can have a prototype. You can come in and you can ask the fellow BAs, like pretty much the 300 people in our community, or everyone is looking for a job. So you can say, hey guys, I am starting a project. I don't know how to do it, to be honest with you. Who wants to participate? let's do it together. Okay, you can ask, hey Jay, this is our business idea. We want to know, like, this is what happening current process, like this is how it's manually happening. I'm going to write the future state. You can use AI, you can use Google, ask the help, okay? Then after you get the idea, write it in your own word, and you can just post it. Hey, I did this one, tag me, or like tag your friends and your community members. Ask, hey guys, I did this one. I'm not sure if the solution is good. Future state. Can you guys comment? So I can take a look. I can comment. Hey, I think your idea is good, and we can be. Then someone come up with process mapping. Take the process mapping. Take a screenshot. Upload it in our chat. Right. And that's how, like, we can start building, right? So many projects. It's not a big science, right? That's why I'm telling. So you have the skills, you have the knowledge. Now you start cooking, start, like, not practicing, executing. And if you found something useful, and I'm here to help you, right? Like I'm saying, I can provide you, give you the feedback. You write your user story, I am providing you knowledge. Based on that knowledge, you start execute, and I can give you the feedback. You write user stories. You like BRDs. You like FRDs. Whatever pretty much artifact you want to create, you write and upload it to the channel. In the chat, one of the video, just appropriate area, just tag me. Hey Jay, can you take a look? Right. So we can work. Right. That's helpful for other student too. Okay. Um, Phase 4, now your 3 month you completed. Okay, so your first month you learn SDLC, second phase you learn project BRD, FRD, and third month you did a project, fourth month you can start applying. Okay, so mastering the job applying also very is important. Okay, so now while you are applying, you can take look into other, like APIs, like data analytics tools and everything. So here, this is the fourth month only, you will focus on domain, focus on the tools and everything. Okay, while you are applying, after 3 months basic you completed, you start looking into job, because when you apply third month, and first interview will come fourth month or fifth month, right? While that you are working, you can master on the other information I provide. So summary, 2-3 weeks you can understand the BA role, 1 or 2 month user stories. I'm not telling BRDs, okay? And then BA tools, and 3 months you are ready to apply. Okay, so 4 to 6 months you can start doing the project, and you can move along. Okay, any questions so far, guys? Are we? Yeah. Mm-hmm. BRD we write in Word. Um, and no, you are asking how do we write BRD in production? Is that your question? Yeah. No, so you usually you have to write the BRD in a Word document, or like a doc, because you need to share with the stakeholders after you write, and they will read it. So when you go to a meeting, um, they will start a project. Okay, hey, we are building an app for our customer because we facing problem. We have less staffs. We thought maybe spending some money, and we start on the project. Okay, so that's a business idea, right? Like online. So you start business goal, business objective. So you write it slowly in a Word document. You can share it. There is no pages. Like when we start writing, it's like 100 pages, 50 pages, 40 pages, 30 pages, 20 pages, 10. So they now, because of Agile, there is no specific pages. Like if you are, let's say for whatever the company you are planning to work, right? So they said we want, pretty much you are digitalizing something, right? It's a manual workflow, you are digitalizing. So you are writing today this process is manual, we want to make it digitalized. So how many page you can write, like 5 pages, 10 pages, as long as you have the business goal and what is required, that's good to go. And if you need, you can refine it, you can add more detail, like when you start talking to the technical folks, when you start talking to designers, when you start talking to other peoples, you can always add more detail and get approval. So start with, I think for the BRD, I have a sample I will share with you. Like I would recommend it, there is no specific pages like a 5 pages, 10 pages. It's based on the business goal. If you know more detail, you can write more detail. Yeah, yeah. That's why like start with user story writing, so you will get an idea like how big I should create. Like it's not you are writing essay, like sometimes people will not read, right? Like it's just to provide a context, okay, what we are building, what is the main goal of this project. So there's no specific numbers, like olden days the BRDs are, it's like a big bible, now it's shortened to small number of pages. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let's, so we, I gave you, so I'll just go through this one, like how you can do this roadmap. Okay, so it's pretty much, I'm repeating again day by day what you can do every day. Okay, so you can just take a look and follow. I just put, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to send it this one. Okay, so I'll provide you the more detail. I'm going to send it as it is. That's why I just put it I didn't create any PPT. I created in the Word so that you can have a copy. Okay, everyone have a copy and just follow. If you follow this one, pretty much you are good to go. Okay, so but make sure you have to practice. Okay, so that's all about our roadmap. Okay, so I'm going to don't save. So next part, we'll quickly take a look our we are going to use example, because I'm using most banking applications because that's what I have experience, but I'm getting question from students, can you show us insurance application, can you show us healthcare application, and sometimes government applications also. Like there is no difference between government application, healthcare, insurance, there is different, the product and service they are serving is different, that's it, right? Like but the software is going to behave the same thing. For the software it just need input. So input is what we provide, we call data or information. You know what is a data, right? Like what you provide. And when you give data, what is this doing? Process. Who will give the process? That's the business logic. Okay, business logic example, they're saying, okay, we cannot accept as customer less than 18. We cannot accept as customers less than 18. Or we cannot give loan if customer income is less than 5,000. Or credit score less than 500, something like that. So these are all business logic. So you collect something and programmer will write the business logic behind the scene. Expected result we call output. So if you understand these three basic fundamental of, you can write any number of user stories. Output, okay, loan is approved. Oh, your appointment is booked. Okay, success. Something like that. Anything, this expected message, right? So what information we collect? So we call whoever provided these are clients, customers, users. If they are using the application, we call user, but technically they are the customer, they are the clients. You use the appropriate keyword when you are talking based on your organization. Sometimes if you are working for a software company, they use user, and if you are working for any institutions, any financial, they use client either, or customer or guest or whatever. Okay, so our main role is just to understand this one, and mainly I am going to focus on SDLC. Okay, so let's get started quickly and discuss. Okay, now, yeah, yeah, exactly, because you that exactly, you got it. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with this one. So I'll put the question in the chat. Then we'll, because I want to be interactive. So you. So first we learn our role. We know we have to gather requirement. Okay. So we understand what requirement to be gathered. So we'll write business artifacts, user stories, acceptance criteria. Right. So you can use any kind of application based on the domain you are working. Do all things. So start with user story. Now your exercise, write two sentences about why business analyst job important in a software development project. I'll post in the chat also. If you want to speak, you can speak. Otherwise, you can write in the chat. Yeah. So two sentence, or you can speak also. So guys, if this call ended, I will going to send you a new invite for the next hour. Okay, because it's showing. Okay, let's continue. Okay, you can speak. If you want to tell, you can tell, or otherwise you can type it here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you. Yeah, that's good. That's right. Exactly. Okay. I like your answer, and also Prasad also put. So one word is just a clarity. That's it. It's just you are removing the gaps. That's it. So you just provide clarity between business and the ITT. All right. Okay. Good job, guys. Whoever replied to the question. So before we go to the next section, so I put the answer here. So when I send the document, you can take a look. Okay. So I'm going to send you one more invite for the next hour. So let's join that call. Okay. I'm going to exit this call. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. Okay. So next one will go to. So guys, again, we are discussing very high level, but you have to practice more detail. Just to give you an idea what you need to do when you are practicing your roadmap. Okay. So next one, once you understand what actually business analysts do, next one, what is the business analyst role, right? We discuss BA bridge. Always you are hearing BA bridges between business and IT, because to work this role you need to understand how software is built. So that's what you're going to learn today, which is using SDLC. And also it's good to have a kind of a product knowledge, right? Like you are if you are working in a bank, you are selling mortgages, credit card, or forex, or whatever product. You are going to work in a government project, maybe whatever process you are working in civil services. So whatever process you are going to work, it should have good business knowledge, because you have to be a customer on that. Like, again, remember I told you the example, right? If you want to cook, you have to be a chef. If you want to be a doctor, you have to be like, you need to understand patients, right? Like all the disease and medicine, everything. Otherwise you cannot provide it. If you want to be provide legal service, you want to be a lawyer, right? So get the professional knowledge, before you start, right? So that's the professional knowledge coming from the product where you are going to work. That's the domain. And this one I can teach you. The IT side, how the computer application behave, how the software, this one I can. The product knowledge you have to learn by your own self. Okay. So here, second one, you need to always understand what is the business problem and explain the solution to the stakeholders. So you are not deciding any solution, guys. If you think, do I need to tell the solution? No. There are many folks in the call, like they will tell you, stakeholders will tell you what they need, right? Pretty much they are digitalizing. There is a manual process they want to computerize. That's what we are talking about, right? And there are technical partners, there are design people. They will tell you how the screen should looks like, and the technical partners will tell how the system should behave, right? Did someone exit or join? I don't know. I don't know. Are we good to continue? Okay, so we are continuing. Okay, so the question question for you here. Sorry, I came to this one. List three stakeholders BA might work within, like whatever your domain. So I put insurance as an example. So can you list three stakeholder, the domain you are going to work? So you don't need to write insurance, okay? And Emmanuel, I guess you are going to work in some government project. Prasad, if I'm not wrong, you are going to apply for banking project. Manoj, I'm not sure which domain you are going to apply. So you can write three stakeholders in your project, wherever domain you are going to work. Or you can just call out. Mm-hmm, yeah. Okay, I'll come back and explain you. Okay. So Manoj, Prasad, do you guys have an input? Okay. Okay. So yeah, here is the thing. Okay. So yeah, I know. I think I like this answer. I think project manager and customer and project sponsor. Okay. So here, what do you mean stakeholders, right? Like mainly we are focusing on the people who is going to give the work, right? Like let's say if you are going to build a application some application for a doctor, right? Yes, if he is the business owner, he is the one going to provide you requirement. Yes, he is a stakeholder. So patients, like you will not directly work with the patients. Like you will be wearing the patient's hat. Like you have to understand who is your end user. End user mean, are you going to build the software for the doctor office, or you are going to build the software for on behalf of the doctor office for the patients, right? That software can be built for patients also, right? Like customer can directly go and book the appointment if you are going to, or the people who work in the doctor's office, are they one that going to use that application, right? That case, maybe receptionist or like admin people, right? Not the direct customer. So you have to understand who is the end user of that application. That's first thing. We understand the user. Second one, who is the business sponsor? I saw Manoj, someone put that answer, right? Like who is the owner, who is going to fund the project, right? Who is the direct person? We go to person, get the requirement. That's a stakeholder, right? So that's how you need to identify who is the business owner. You can keep this word. I would recommend to use the word business owner, or like a product, like who is in charge for you to tell, right? You cannot go and change application directly, right? Someone is owning that particular piece or product in a company, right? In a small company, the entire application owned by, like if you are going to build an application for a lawyer, so you are building for lawyer's office, right? The lawyer is the owner of that company, so lawyer is your stakeholder. If you are going to build for a small dental office, so that doctor is the business owner. So first you start with the business owner, right? Then you find out who is the end user, because the application can be used by internal users or the external users. Internal users also users, like people who works for the company, or people actually who is the consumer clients, right? So this is how you can, and other decision makers. Let's say you are building a software or product for an account department in a bank, right? Not for the direct customers, right? So someone is leading that project, like the project manager, right? Your direct stakeholder, project manager, and the business owner, two people, and accounting team, whatever the team is going to use, three people, stakeholders. Is that clear, guys? So first start with the stakeholder, who is the business owner and the end user. Are we clear? So business owner mean like a big organization. There they have like multiple product. Example, I'll tell you here. Okay. So think like a bank. Okay. So business owner, we can take a doctor's office example. So this is a sole propriety. Like this doctor has one doctor only, right? He has one staff. So he is a business owner directly, right? There is no business sponsor or anyone is doing this one, right? So this is not a bank, okay? So this one person or two person who is directly owning. So big organization, corporate offices, right? Like think like a bank. So bank has so many products. Products mean like they're telling debit card, credit card, loans, like mortgages. So many products are there, right? So we can tell these all lending, right? So account opening, accounts like the checking account, savings account, deposit account. So account opening. So someone in charge for onboarding, someone important for back office. So business owner, business sponsors. For the debit card, we have a different senior manager. For the loans, we have a different senior manager. Mortgage, we have a different senior manager. Account opening, we have different senior manager. Head. Onboarding, we have a different department. Payroll, we have a different department. So these people become the head of the department. Those are the business sponsor. Like if you are changing something for a debit card, we need to get approval, head of the debit card or loan or whatever the product section, right? That's like, think like Walmart or supermarket, you have different sections, right? Like you have dairy, you have vegetable section differently, you have electronic section. So business sponsor is a small leader of that particular section, like the person, the supervisor or manager for that dairy section. That's a sponsor. But if you take as like a whole organization put together, that corporate office, that's the business owner. You got it, right? Emmanuel, are we good? Okay. Okay. So let's move on to next one. Okay. So we are going to continue the insurance claim app here. The manual process today, customer submit insurance claim. This is what we are building. Okay, so the manual process, like let's say when they want to submit a claim, they have to call the customer care and they have to explain when did this happen. This is like a painful process, right? Like, so we are building a online application, some app, like customer can take a picture of, like let's say you want to submit a car claim, right? You take a picture what happened, or like you are claiming for your house, you had a flood or some fire or whatever is happening, the incidents, you just take a picture and write one brief line or two, like you can provide as much of as detail there and upload it there. Two sets, it's very convenient, right? Like they can take a look instead of you explaining to customer care, wait half an hour on the line and explain, they will transfer to another line, they will transfer, I'm not responsible, and next time when you call you don't have another person, right? So it's very pain, right? So that's why we are building a online application. Okay, so your exercise is in the insurance claim online app, identify two problems customer can face in manual claim process. Okay, I'll just put it in the chat. It's applicable for all the digitalization softwares. Okay, so this is the question. Identify two problems a customer or client can face in manual claim processing. So our business goal is, business problem is today, this claim process is manual. Okay, so we try to build an app or application or website to submit claims. Sorry? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. So this is the question. Identify two business problems a customer face in manual claim processing. Delay is one of them, like delay of processing, right? Yeah. Okay. Uh, yeah. So the, yeah, manual and convenient, and they can track also, right? Like, okay, because every time you have to call, like do you have experience when you call to customer care for a claim, like it's take hour and hour, like you are lost, right? Like you cannot talk to a person, it's always automated reply, right? You can call and it's another person, right? Like if you lost a good or something, it's pretty pain, like if when you're dealing with customer care agents, right? But if you have a manual process, like you see Amazon application, right? You order If you don't like, you can immediately refund, right? Like you get the refund right away. Like is there any customer service for Amazon? No, right? There is, I don't know, but it's pretty self, it's all automated process, right? That's why people go and buy there, because it's more convenient. So delay in claim process, difficult to tracking status, right? Like when you order a food or anything, you can pretty much track, right? Even it's take time, it's okay. You have that transparency, right? You know where your order is, right? So pretty much all the application we have to keep update the customer. That's a good feature. Okay, so we are moving on to next one. We discuss about stakeholders, but I just want to ask you, like, your opinion. Do you know what is the stakeholder responsibility? Like, let's say when you go to a meeting, if you are new to the project, there are going to be like 4 or 5 people invited into the meeting. So you don't know whom you should talk to get approval, right? Like maybe one senior manager is talking, one another assistant manager is talking, like one person from AML, one person is from other department. Like you are confused. Who is your stakeholder, right? How do you decide who is the stakeholder? How do you decide who can make the decision to make the change, right? That's the person you need to talk, right? So here from one of these stakeholders, and write one responsibility of one stakeholder. So let's take leave the customer, this guy, leave the admin, IT, and leave. So let's take the direct person who is going to use our software, like the claim officer. So what would be the responsibility for this claim officer? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the yeah, so it's reviewing, right? Like the claim officer is reviewing, right? So claim officers, like I would say, reviewing. Claim officer reviews and approve the claim submitted by the customer, right? Okay. So now this is the main part you need to focus, SDLC. Okay, again, guys, this will take time, but try to capture as much as you can. This is not a big, like a rocket science you can learn easily. I'll upload more video regarding this one, but just try to capture this one. This is the core fundamental you should learn when you are working as a BE, right? Okay, so let's start. What is SDLC? SDLC is software development lifecycle. This is the pipeline. Like again, example analogy, right? Like I said, if you want to cook a meal, you have to have a recipe, right? You follow the recipe. When you want to build a software, you need algorithm. So algorithm or recipe, it's just a detailed step by step what you need to follow in order to complete the item product, right? So we are building a software. Like if you want to build a house, you just randomly go and pick a place and you don't do, right? Like no, you take a budget. Okay, what's the budget? You plan, you go blueprint, and even a small thing, right? If you want to go holiday, you want to go a picnic or vacation, you want to take a course, or you do pretty much day to day life, you are doing something, you just do planning, right? Like okay, this is my budget, this is where I should go, these are the people I am going to invite. You make a, even if you are not going to write, you will make a mental plan, right? Like okay, this is what I'm going to do. So pretty much the software development lifecycle also, it's like a blueprint. There are phases, 6 phases, everyone is following. So we are more focused on, as a BA, you are in all 6 phases. Every cycle you are there. But mainly where you focus on, what you do. So that's what we're going to discuss. Okay, so this one start from the requirement, like gap analysis, SWOT analysis, you name it, all the analysis you will do to get the requirement. What is requirement is? Requirement is business objective, business goal, right? Design, who will involve in the design? So requirement gathering, you are not alone. Product owners are there, business stakeholders are, SMEs are there, project owners are there, project managers are there. So you are pretty much in charge of this one to poke and ask and doing the gap analysis. What is exists today? What is missing today? What we need to build? How we can make the process easy? Pretty much in the business there are workflows, right? Like do you guys know what is a workflow? Do you? Can you guys hear me? Did I lost everyone? No. The question is, do you guys know what is a workflow? Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Do you know what is a workflow? Can, exactly, right? So, in your software development, this workflow is manual. Oh, like it's digital, but it's slow. It's need enhancement. So, your job is identify the workflow, right? Like what workflow you need to enhance to build the software, right? So that's what you're coming from requirement. So you the manual workflow or current workflow, current state, you are doing a gap analysis. What is gap? What is missing? What is the bug? What is the error happening there? That's the requirement analysis. Second one, once you identify the gap, you are now documenting. Okay, this is the current state. You document the current state. Now you work with the design folks. Here you will have a UX design, solution architect, or the lead developer, or like a tech lead. You work with these people because you have the gap analysis. What is the gap in the manual workflow? So you work with all the folks and you guys coming up with the design, like maybe a screen, wireframe, or you whatever system you want to develop, or you are building an app. In this case you are building a insurance app, right? A claim app, right? Okay, this is what we need. So the designers come up with the design, screens and system capability, everything. So now the third one, before you go here, it's hidden here. Requirement analysis will include gathering requirement and documenting also. So now you have a BRD or you have a user story, what system should do. So that's what you give to developers. So developer will build that one. Once a developer build, testing team will validate and it's go to the development. Deployment mean is can use by customers in production, and maintenance if there is any after release, if there is any bug or enhancement, or let's say you build only for customers for car claims, so you are expanding for the other claims, you are expanding for other claims also, right? That's a maintenance base. So be involved in requirement gathering and all the phases with the conforming detail with all the teams. Okay. So the exercise, match BA responsibilities to SDLC phases. Okay. Can you tell what BA, we talk about requirement gathering. Okay. So can you tell what BA is doing in design phase? Okay. Okay. So how about testing? What BA is doing in the testing phase? That's right. That's right. Okay. Exactly. Okay. So here requirement, you get the requirement, create BA artifacts, not only the BRD. Okay. And this, yeah. Which one? Maintenance? Yeah. Who does what? I cannot hear you. Test. The la. Ca- yeah. Made. No, no. So here is the thing. So you write the user story here, okay, with working with the requirement and design people here. These two places. Development mean it's coding, right? Like you give a screen. This is what we need. So the BA not doing anything here. The developer will ask question. Okay, hey, you provide me this is how the screen should like. What will happen if um, user cannot log in? What should I do? So the developer will ask question, counter question from you on the requirement. So you need to find out, okay, so you said if the user can log in and show this screen, what will happen if the user cannot log in, right? So you need to provide that requirement. So you always, these people will, developer has a question pretty much like always to clarify. So you take that question, work with the design or work with business, get answer and come back to developer and tell during the development phase. During the testing phase, the tester will go through the acceptance criteria. Okay, validate this one, verify that this login button can visible, verify that user can submit, verify that. So he will also come up with some edge cases. Let's say during the submission, what will happen if the timeout, right? Like maybe it's the spinning. What should I do? Hey, I don't have test data. Like you are just pretty much every time when they ask a question during the development or testing, you try to clarify the requirement. So that's what the business BA is doing. Yeah. Hmm. Yes, yes, the BAs need to test. It's not functional testing. Like you don't need to test. Sometime you have to do a smoke test. Smoke testing means like see, in order to test that flow, that page should open, right? Like you can just quickly navigate and see the page is working. So let's say in your team, only the project should be delivered in within 2 weeks. You have only one tester, so you can give it a hand if you know how to test, right? Like maybe if you don't know how to write test cases, you can ask the tester, hey, can you write the test cases for me? I can help you. Like maybe if you don't know how to write automated testing, you can help in manual testing. The tester pretty much can develop the test cases while the developer is working. He can pass it to you, so you can go to the test instance, you can validate and you can take the screenshot or take a video and you can help also. So you BA, uh, you will not coding, you will not do any coding. So definitely you can help in testing for the tester if you have the capacity. Yeah, it's not in your job responsibility, but usually when you write a user story, it's good to test and see this is the current the gap, right? Like then it's good. Yeah, but if you have knowledge and expect that skills, definitely you can help a tester just to save some time. But it's not in your direct responsibility to do the testing. Yeah, okay. Any other questions, guys? Deployment, we don't need to do anything. Like make sure if you are need to create like change manual, like a user manual. Sometimes business asks, can you provide some information? Can you provide a walkthrough? Can you provide some screens? I think someone is okay. Yeah. Now see. Hi. Can you repeat your? Okay. So let's say you are working on a backend user story. Okay. So when you are working with a backend user story, let's say you have a form here. So let's say this is an insurance claim. Okay. Insurance. Okay, so here we get your input, user input. This is the front end. Okay, so we are telling to the telling in the user story, make sure validate customer can upload, validate customer can upload docs. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so now this is the front end, but this upload should save in the database, right, somewhere in the backend, right? The API is front end is calling, and it should saved in the database. Now when you are writing your user story, so you have to write validate your table name or database name, which DB this data is saved. So you cannot, one thing you can simply write, but there will be a question during your PBR where this data is saved. So what you can do, you can log into your SQL instance, whatever you are using, any third party tool or like a TeamView, whatever the tool you are using. So you can work with your tech lead. You can ask which table the data is currently this is going to save. So they will give you pretty much which table, which database, and you can, if you don't know how to write the query, you can ask them, hey, can I get the query, right? Like you can get the query, you can execute and see if the query is working, right? Like then you can put it in your user story. So, and also SQL is important when customers say, like someone say there is a bug. So first starting point, you will validate if this is already existing in the database. So that time you can validate in the database also. So pretty much when you are writing API user stories, microservice user stories, backend user stories, SQL is important. Or if you are working on like dashboards user stories, right? Like you are working creating reports, right? Like your data, front end data saved in database. So you can get your query, you can query and see to understand the current status, right? Like where this data is currently being saved, and what are the table, what are the features. So then you can write your acceptance criteria clearly, validate this table, this feature, this field. Or like if, let's say in the front end you are asking customer client consent for something. Okay, here we get your personal information to be saved in our database, right? Like front end you give a checkbox. If they don't give that checkbox, and you cannot proceed with the flow, right? So you have to validate. So either you have to create a table or you have to use an existing table to save. So that case you are introducing a new column in the database. And when you are writing user stories, and you can mention in your user story, this is the existing database and this is the table name, and you can query and take a screenshot, or you can write the table name and you can provide the detail so that tester can validate. Otherwise he will come back and ask you what is the table name, what is the database name, do you have the query or something like that. So pretty much it's based on your domain or area you are working. SQL can be used, but it's not mandatory. No worries. Okay. All right. Can we move on to next one, the Agile versus Waterfall? Okay. So Waterfall. So Waterfall, pretty much I don't know, like if your current job description saying, I don't see much about Waterfall, but I see BRD and FRD. So Waterfall is like a big, like maybe a manual for you, any government project, like a big project, like they will have a hybrid approach. You have to write user stories and you have to write BRDs also. Okay, so what is waterfall mean? Like, think like step by step. Like, you get the requirement here, right? Like, you get the requirement, design, they will develop. You don't show to customer anything. Like, it takes 6 months, 1 year, or like a 3 month. You complete everything in one go, then you present to the business stakeholder, right? So that's the waterfall strategy. Agile is like a iterative. It's like, you think waterfall is like a public bus or train, right? Like many people can travel. Agile is like a Uber service, like it's like a private taxi. Like, you pretty much, you book your taxi, you complete it. So small iterative task, like sprints can be called like a 2 week is, most of the project I work 2 weeks. Sometimes some companies they use 3 weeks also. But for us as a BA, it doesn't matter which methodology they are using. So these are all software development methodology. The software can be built, you can be hired two different companies. One is the software is built in-house. In-house mean the company you are going to hire, they have IT team, and in the IT team you will have, that's the in-house, they are building software. Like banks and big organization, they have in-house solution. So most probably 90% of time they'll use Agile. So some companies are there, their service is building softwares. Think about website designers, application providers, right? The cloud companies, AWS, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they are providing software as a company. So they, what they do, they they build softwares and they sell to customers, right? Maybe it's, they use Agile, Waterfall, but for you, it's your responsibility not going to change, right? So I would recommend you to start with the Agile approach, learn the Agile. Nothing to learn from Agile. You are only writing user story, that's it. It doesn't matter where do you work, and you're creating a BA artifact. It's just a brand, like you see, does it matter which car you drive, or which phone you use, or which drink you drink? No, right? It's going to serve your purpose. It's like that only. So for you also, Agile, Waterfall, Kanban, these all kind of brand. So you don't need to chase the brand, but you just learn the core thing. Okay. So give me one example of a BA activity in Agile. Sprint 1 is insurance claim app. Anyone want to sir, sorry, what did you say, Emmanuel? So, so you didn't get the sprint or agile sprint, this one? Mm-hmm. So here is the thing, okay? Um, Again, you, these are methodologies. Like, let's say, how do I say? Let me think a simple example. Okay, so waterfall is like, let's say, you are, you, let's take the the doctor analogy here. Okay, so waterfall is, let's say you are group of doctors working for one big hospital, like so many like you are researching something, okay, researching for something. So you don't create any medicine, or you don't provide feedback until your project is completed, right? Let's say you are a group of 5 doctors, you are researching, and like you guys estimated this one for 1 year. So you don't provide any feedback, or you don't tell anything. Like, you can speak, but the product is not ready, right? Like, you don't have a result. So Agile is not like that. You say, okay, you divide every 2 weeks. We'll give an update like what we like. You are building slowly. Okay, the first phase research, second second sprint, you will okay. We will come up with a solution. Okay, so slowly iterative. So whatever you did within that 2 weeks, it's go to the customers. It's go ready to use. That's how the agile approach is. But as a BA, your responsibility will not change. Do you work in agile or waterfall? So you still going to clarify requirement, you're going to gather requirement, you're going to still create the BA artifacts. Are you clear on this one? Yeah, okay. So it doesn't change anything, your responsibility. These are kind of approach, right? Like how the software should be built, right? It's not in your hand, like what methodology they want to use this. It's deciding the team, right? Like the organizational need, right? They want to go waterfall, okay. We can work in the waterfall methodology. You want to go agile? Yeah. Yeah. So what he sees, the pretty much waterfall and agile, we follow the same STLC process approach. Okay, waterfall methodology mainly they will, as a BA you need to give a BRD. That's your requirement. So you have to create BRD and FRDs. Yeah. So here your requirement, you need to have the document FRD, BRDs, this one, because once you created developer, it will go to developers and they will start developing. So testers still not testing. What they do, they will start building the test cases. So they will build everything and they will pass it to the tester. So testers start testing. um, After, we are not still not showing to client, it's not ready for. If anything goes wrong, and this go to development and they will develop and test and come back. So this take time, but for until you everyone complete their job, we don't deploy anything to production. That's only different. It can take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. We are not sending anything like, yeah, yeah. So here mainly in Agile we go with user stories. There are BRDs also, but mainly user stories. Small task. Okay, we will take within 2 weeks. Let's say your team is only 10 people working. Okay, uh, three developers, three testers, one BA, one product owner, one designer. Right. So we will as a BA you will create all the task and user story whenever you have time. It's like creating ticket. You create the ticket, Jira ticket, user story, you put it in the backlog. Put it in the backlog. So before we start a sprint, we will plan it. Okay, hey, next month, next week I will be not here. So one developer is saying I'm going to take a vacation. So we will plan it. Okay, only two developers are there. They will take, okay, one developer can only work two user stories, and another developer say, okay, I'll take only two user stories, four user stories, and two testers only. Three testers are there, then the third tester don't have a work. Then we will tell, okay, um, can you do something else, right? Like do have some. Did we lose everyone or just a reminder? It's just a reminder, right? Okay. Okay, so we'll have 15 minutes. Let me finish this one. So here we will have a plan. So your job is you keep on creating the user story and add it to the backlog. Your cycle is going to be the same, BA cycle. You go to business stakeholder, do the gap analysis, create the BA artifacts, and talk to the developers and get estimation and move on. So this cycle is going to continue. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yes, so both the methodology, Emmanuel, you will have to do your five steps, right? Like a gap analysis. So gap analysis, you will do current state first. What is happening? If you don't know the background, you cannot build software, right? So that's you do the gap analysis. What is going on today? Okay, so you do future state. Then third one, you put it in a diagram. Okay, fourth, here you then create BRD, FRD, and you create you yeah, process diagram, sequence diagram, DFT, data flow diagram, or like simple thing how to visualize. Like here you write in detail, right? I will share process mapping how to do. I think it's already there in the some videos are there. Take a look like how to gather requirement, right? In that I think I have some diagramming also, but I'll take a look. Okay, I don't remember. So this four step you have to do, like you do. If you don't know the gap, right, like how do you identify the gap if you don't know the current state, right? So analyze the current state, you do SWOT analysis or whatever analysis methodology you know, and get the futures. Okay, where is the sharing? Okay, allowed to share a screen. Can you confirm if you guys see my screen? Can you see my screen, guys? Okay, thank you. Just to make sure it's recording, yeah. And yeah, okay. So we are discuss about agile and waterfall. Let's continue. Okay, so again, guys, this will take like at least continuously we need 10 hours or 15 hours to go one by one. Like I don't like to talk without example. So, but let's see in future if we need, if I have time. So we will, instead of I record and upload it offline. So maybe if you guys interested, and let me know, and I'll try to make some time. We'll do like 2 3 days. Just try to finish one thing, right? Like maybe we'll go one whole session like a requirement gathering, how to requirement. One session like fully we'll master how to write user story. One session will go to learn all the bases of SDLC. So try to do. We'll try to do. If you guys need help, just let me know. Okay. So now let's continue the requirement basics. Okay. So you will hear these things in your discussion: functional requirement, non-functional requirement, business requirement, right? Like these are, don't worry, these are kind of labels, right? Like it doesn't, like like how would you say, like if you heard new word, like I would recommend you to maintain an Excel sheet of word if you heard some new keyword, because you never worked on a production project, right? Like people will start talking about different terminologies you never heard it. Your best friend is Google, right? Like AI or ChatGPT, whatever you are using, just go and ask, like, okay, can you explain me? Just research it. Like when you start developing, like we use Google, we everyone, no one worked without Google or any other search engine. Like no one knows everything perfectly. Like we go to a project, we also start, we don't know, we start researching, we see existing conference pages, what is it, right? So we are not expecting everyone should know everything, but overall you are qualified, that's why you got the job, right? So it's okay to be not knowing. Okay, no need to worry about this one, but it's make sure you maintain a book or diary or notebook, like whatever the terminology you don't know, you can start recording. Okay, so I will start with requirement. So you guys already know requirement is like a business idea, right? Type of requirements you hear: business, functional, non-functional. Okay, so I would ask you, like, can someone explain to me what is the different business, functional, non-functional requirement? It's okay to be wrong. Okay, whatever you know, let's say you only know functional or business, you can talk about. Okay. Uh, okay, perfect. Any right, right. Okay, good. So functional mean, like, what think, I think I explained to you. So the computers work like what input, what is the process we should, what's the expected output, right? This what we need to provide, these three, right? Like we need to tell the computer program when we are writing what should do, right? So functional mean when you are building application, it's a program behind the scene, the developer is writing a program, right? Like a class or method, or like it's a executable program. Think about you have a toy car, there is a switch. What is this functional mean? That car should move, right? You press a button, that car should move. So functional mean, yes, the particular user story you are writing, what it is expected to do, right? What data we need to provide, what is the process, what is the logic we need to apply. Logic is the condition, right? The process, what result we want to see. So you always ask this question, who does what? Okay, so this is what your secret to when you are writing the user story. Ask this question, what is the input, what is the data, that put small component, because you are not building the entire application in one go, right? So one user story is small functionality, one mini functionality, one method, one small method or two method they are writing, right? That's a function mean it, like it's like a operation, right? What operation it should do, that's a functionality, right? So always think, ask this question, what data, what information we need to give to that operation in order to do that operation. Behind the scene, what is the business logic process, what is the output. So functional mean, that's the explanation. Here you see, identify requirement type, system must allow uploading claim, right? So here one functional requirement. Another functional requirement, our claim officer should review the claim, should be able to review the claims submitted in the queue. So business requirement is something already business, like let's go to this one. High level goal of the application, customer should submit claim online. So they will not tell detail, okay, our claim officer should review the application. They will not tell customer can track this one. So they say high level, customer should submit the claim. So these are the things will go in the BRDs, business requirement. Functional requirement will go in the user story, or like your FRD if you are creating. Non-functional requirement mean, like I think someone's Prasad, or I forget your name, sorry, I have to look. Yeah, you said, right? Yeah, okay, so you said, Prasad said scalability, that's a good one, right? Like now the solutions are built in cloud, right? Like let's say today you are building the claim app. The insurance company they are selling, they have only 100 customers. So you can ask how many customers. After 5 years it can grow to 10,000 customers. So you are not building application for only 100. The software is built for like scalably, right? Like 1 million. How stress, like how fast this perform, what is the SLA, right? Like SLA under 2 seconds it should give response. How long this 24/7, right? Something like that. So I don't want to get confused you providing more input on this one when it's come to. So let's say you don't know what is functional requirement, that's okay. Just think about application availability. It should work fast, it should available always. These two things remember. If you are just starting, scalability, memory size, performance, everything, just forget about that. So your simple, yeah. Yes, it's the BA role of BA responsibility gather requirement in your user story. So let's say for a beginner, if you don't know, like let's say you are building this insurance app, right? So for your first user story, we are writing the front front end user story. So do you need to capture the non-functional requirement on your front end user story? Front end user story, you say, okay, we need one upload button, not button or whatever is element, UI element, UI element. Okay, one UI element, you need one upload, one submit button. So do we need to capture non-functional requirement for this user story? No, right? You don't hear how fast it should be upload. No, right? So when you are building in agile user stories, what you can do, you don't need to worry about if you don't know this one. So what you can do, you can in your user story, how do you write your user story? So you write your user story as a user, right? And I want to, and so that this the three line you write. Oh, if you are writing technical user story, I will write, I don't use this format because my is like platform related, right? So I will clearly write its requirements, then I will start write in bullet forms, right, like here. Okay, um, this is the API method, this is the URL, this is the sample request, this is the sample response, these are the data elements, this is the data format, this is the length of the data, right? Like I will write, then acceptance criteria, I will write validate given the request is called. So in that user story also I will not capture the non-functional requirement, because non-functional requirement is for the overall application. So let's say you are writing a user story for a microservice. Okay, you are creating a entire application. So in that user story, you can write non-functional requirement, your non-functional requirement. So as a beginner, if you don't know, what you can do, you can call it out in your user story, and you can ask your technical team, hey, can we discuss non-functional requirements? So during your PBR, during other requirement gathering meeting, you are not asking from business this one, right? Like these are technical questions. You can ask your technical folks, and you can list. Okay, so this should be scalability. This is dual core. This is we can switch one data center to another data center or something like that, right? But you don't need to call it out in all of your user story. The non-functional requirement for entire application, not for the particular piece. So let's say you have only one API, you are sending this data to third party vendor, you are getting some response. Yes, that user story can have a non-functional requirement, how fast we should get the response from the vendor to make the decision. So every user story, I would recommend you to have this option when you are writing this one, like here. So you have your user story here, like you have your acceptance. Okay, so here under this one you can write non-functional requirement, you can write, you can have your dependencies, you can add more detail, but you don't need to capture for every user story. So here you can just call it out, and you can, if not applicable, you can put not applicable. So you can ask this question. So if you know, definitely you can capture, you can write that one. Is it clear? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Because I don't want to confuse you guys without knowing the detail, right? Like I want you learn that you learn the 20% and you can scale it to other areas, right? Like when you become proficient, yes, you capture everything. Like even you can capture the code number also, like which line they are changing, which class they are changing, which method, which is the what class they are calling. You can add more detail, right? Always, but we want to keep the user story um, very neat, very simple and precise. And definitely beginner, I don't expect you need to write the non-functional requirement, but when you are having a discussion with your team, make sure you ask this question, so they will tell you, you can just put a note in your user story. All right, okay. We talked about the functional requirement, business requirement. So again, these are all functional requirement. Okay, so I'll just bypass this one, you guys can take a look. Customers should be able to track online. Okay, so this all non-functional requirement. So this is some SLA, how fast. So these are the key attribute. Performance, right? This the performance of the entire application or the entire API, entire component, not the particular user story, right? If you have only one user story, you are just building one API, yes, your user story can have this non-functional requirement. Security, right? Like your API key or anything. I don't think so. You will list in your user story, right? So these are kind of hidden things, but you can call it out. You can ask your tech lead. You can ask your developer. Hey, I have a question. Like I know, I we want to know, like we want to capture the non-functional requirement. Is there any API key or like a security authentication or something we need? Or just in general, you just ask, is there any non-functional requirement? So, application protocol interface. Yeah, so I'll go through. Don't worry. Is there already? I have uploaded like a 10-hour video. Like, if you are going to technical project, I think business system analyst. You can take a look, but you don't want to confuse anything. Like, learn whatever your responsibility, BA role required to do, right? Definitely you need to learn your computer application, how it's working, how the APIs are working and everything, but not to worry. Okay, that's why I don't want to use many technical terminology here. You will easily get confused. Okay, so just follow the roadmap and you can scale it one by one. Okay, so the BRD, if you are need to write a BRD, so I recommend to know the basic. Okay, so not the detail. Write 2 or 3 pages, 1 page, like introduction. When you have a business goal, you can write the introduction, right? And business objective, what they need, scope, what is included. It sounds like everything is the same, right? Objective, scope, which is not. So you have to learn how to get the objective, how to write the scope, stakeholders, business requirement, assumption, and so these seven, I guess, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 sections, if you can capture, right? You can ask this question in if you are starting a big project. But when you are doing a small enhancement, let's say there is a workflow, you need a small button, one button, submit button or cancel button. You don't need to create a BRD for that one, right? Like you don't need to ask like what is the assumption. You don't need to require, like, get minimum things, work with that. If your developer has any question, yes, you can ask those questions, right? Like don't try to apply your theoretical knowledge for every development, right? Like you can do all your work in your local computer. Of course, for a small enhancement, yes, you want to create a BRD, you can create a BRD for you understanding. Yes, okay, what's the introduction, what is the business goal, what is the scope, who are the stakeholders, this you can create, but it's just required a user story to complete the task. Okay, so you can write a BRD if you want. You can write a BRD for the insurance application and you can share it in the channel. Any of the, I think there is a BRD video, you can tag it there and let's get everyone's opinion and you can showcase in your resume. Okay, so I would recommend if you guys can open a GitHub page or linked, I guess you guys have a LinkedIn. I recommend you to have a GitHub, right? Like a GitHub page, you can have all your projects there and you can show it there. Or it's okay if you don't know what is a GitHub and how to use, that's okay. Don't spend time 1 week, 2 week there. Just use your LinkedIn page. Okay. So this is one exercise you guys can practice and you can upload it in our community post or any of the chat to get the feedback from others. So you have the knowledge. Now I'm giving a practice to gain the skills. So now knowledge is there. Second step is practice, right? Practice give you skills. When you get recognition, that's become the uh, proof to create values, right? You can confidently you can speak in your interviews. Okay, so user story basic, pretty much everyone has an idea, but think like you go to a restaurant, right? Like how do you ask? Like you have to wear the um, hat of a customer. Like how do you ask, hey, can I get a burger, right? What do you want? How do you want? How do you want to customize? What feature you want? Like, can I add cheese? Can I add lettuce? Can I add sauce? Can I add mayo? Right? Like you ask like a customer, same like that. When you have a business goal, think like a small breakable, like a customer. Okay, so when you create your application like insurance application, think like, okay, if I am the person want to use this one, like how do I navigate? Like think you go through the application in the bigger picture. That's why the diagram help you, right? Okay, first step, what should I do? Okay, I have to log in. Can I log in as a guest, or do I need to register? Right, so that's one user story, right? Two user stories. If the customer registered, what you see there? Landing page, right? Do you see the profile, or like where do you take? Do you see dashboard, or what do you see? Like think like that, because you are walking to destination A to destination B inside your app. So diagrams help to do that one. Okay, um, can we write one sample user story for this claim? Or can we write one user story for the you guys already saw the answer here, right? So can you write one user story for our review officer review feature? Can you put it in the chat? So this is the use case, customer submit online. All right, and so where is the chat? Okay, here's the chat. Okay, so can you, yeah, can you type in the chat so that we can take a, yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the question. No, no. So here for the review officer, so not for the customer, right? So you have to, yeah, so that's a use case. So you have to ask who does what. This is the main question. It should go in your mind. So who is the person? That's the user, right? Who? Yes, that's right. That's a who. Does what? Yeah. Manoj and Prasad, do you guys want to write also? Yeah. Very simple if you ask this question, who does what? That's it. No, right? So you answer the question who. Okay, so here you can see my screen, right? My mouse, right? Can you see? So here you see who is, this is right. So now loan officer, yeah. Okay, so I want the customer to upload their documents so I can review them. Okay. So our assumption, customer already uploaded, right? Like a customer is uploaded, so your feature should be review feature, right? Like a I want customer, not customer uploaded, so I should be able to review uploaded document, right? So upload is completed here, so that I can review and approve. So here the task where, so review officer is the who, what is doing review, what is reviewing claims, right? So that's what, how it should go. You got it, Emmanuel? I want to review submitted. So yeah, you would say as a review officer, I want to review submitted claims, right? Yeah. What? Yeah. Who? So let's write it down. Mhm. Review is the action. Yeah, that's does. Review is the does, and what, so that I can review the submitted claims. Upload by the customer. Yeah, yeah, that's right. So yeah, one action always does mean, so here review review is the main does here. What? Submitted application or claims. One word, claim one. If you write one word here, we can write one word, right? One who, our claim officer. That's a user. Okay, that's a user. Second one, and that's what review. That's a review is the I want, right? I'll write I want, so that this piece, which is what claims, right? That's very one word. As a review officer, I want to review the submitted documents so that I can, no, where you are applying, so I can approve or review, not upload. So you need to understand the what part, right? Like what you are reviewing, right? You can ask the customer who, claim officer, does what you want to do, review, right? I want to review. What you want to review? Claims submitted by customers. Okay, so I can see you guys need more improvement, more work here. So that's why don't worry about non-functional requirement, don't worry about APIs, don't worry about BRDs and FRDs. Try to answer to the take features like this is going to be your sample projects, right? Like answer to this question for any application. You can, day to day you are using so many apps, right? Like Flipkart, Amazon, so Walmart, or whatever companies you are buying online, food apps, Ubers, or like any apps. Like try to all the feature, like functionality. Like functionality mean it's like a switch. You press the switch, it should do something. It's like I told you analogy, like your toy car or like your remote control. You press a button on your remote control, it does something in the TV, on the TV, right? Or like on your game console or something. So functionality is like a switch, right? So you are building a switch. That's what your user stories say. So what you do, right? Who does what, right? What you do, what you, that, what's the action you are expecting. So think like create many functionalities, create user stories for any functionality you day to day. Okay, let's move on to the next section. I guess next we are going to talk about acceptance criteria. So there are examples, okay? So you can take a look, okay? Okay, approving claim. I want to approve and reject, so that valid claims. This for approve. So now acceptance criteria. If you don't know how to articulate, how to write this one, you can. Acceptance criteria is like your definition of done. So how do you make sure the developer built correctly? Developer build whatever business one, developer build whatever you mention in the user story, right? So that's your acceptance criteria. So you can tell given mean it's a precondition. What is given? Customer uploaded the claims already. That's the given part for us, right? When the document showed up in the claims officer queue, then the claim officer should be able to approve the review the documents or review the claims. So given mean precondition. That's the given part. When is, like example, when the power is on the TV. That's a given. When you press the button on the remote control, what you want to see? Then, like that. Given mean power is there. That mean that's a perfect situation. When mean what you do. Then mean what you expect to see. So like that, you see, given customer is logged in, when the customer submit the claim form, then the system should show a confirmation message. For our user story we have written, right? How do you write the acceptance criteria? When given customers already uploaded a claim, when claim officer reviewed the working basket or the queue, then review officer should be able to review or navigate or see the claims or click approve or reject, whatever, review. Are we good on this one, guys? Okay, so I want you guys to practice this too. Write a user story and write acceptance criteria. Write a user story, how many you will write? I would recommend you write hundreds. You have to write for a project, you have to write 20, 30, 40, 50, like you have to, this is the only one job you have to do. Writing user story. So from today, start writing user story. Even you don't know, write it and upload it in the comment and tag me there and ask me feedback. I'll give you feedback. And after you get this one, then we'll move on to current verse, future verse, those things can be done. But this should be clear. This is what the developer will pick to develop. This is what the tester will use for to validate. Okay. You can pick any project, like whatever project. So let's say um, you if you want to work in a bank, right? Like maybe you are using your personal banking, right? Like let's say you log into your banking portal. Okay, so you can break the futures. So first what you do a login. So can you write a user story for login feature? Can you write a user story for check deposit? Can you write a user story for move money? Can you write a user story for e-transfer? Can you write a move money, so accepting money? There are so many use cases, like go to ChatGPT or like go to any AI or Google, just type your domain and ask the topic, hey, can you give me a few business use case for this domain to write user stories? Then you'll get it. Or if you need, let me upload you, just ping there and ask me your domain and I'll upload it for you. I'll give you assignments. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the full walkthrough business problem, right? Like this is what you, again, where I'm highlighting, this is what you have to do. Business problem, you gather requirement doing the gap analysis, you create the BE artifacts. So don't touch this BRD, only start with user story. Once you master the user story 3 line, touch this acceptance criteria. Once you master this one, then go to BRD and FRD. That's your learning path. Okay, and so here, and next one, you can start making diagrams. Okay, so my I'll show you. I think there I uploaded using Miro and Draw.io some diagram, but you need to learn, like once you create current versus future flow, and you can start creating diagrams. So I'm sorry, like I cannot finish everything within next hour, because I need to talk about the hiring and the interview process, so that's why I'm kind of going fast. Okay, so but we will connect, like looks like we need a couple of days to complete this one. We will connect, I will arrange more workshops with you guys, okay, to discuss this one. Yeah, so do the practice best of your knowledge, and I'll provide my comments. Okay, so here I have given you what you need to do: identify stakeholder, write 5 business and functional requirements, convert requirement into 10 user stories. You can start, so you can complete this assignment whatever I am giving. Okay, because we have pretty much all the add acceptance criteria, create a mini BRD, which that 8 sections. Okay, because I provided the answer, so you can just go through the answers also here. Okay, once you complete it, and if you don't find the answer, just ping me and we can discuss. Okay, so now we will go through setup questions, MCQ questions, and answer and explanation is there when you are practicing this document, and do not look the answer. So let's try to answer these questions. Okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah, no worries. Yeah, yeah, you can exit the call. Yeah. Um, Maybe 10-15 minutes. Yeah, yeah. So then we'll skip the questions. Okay, I provide the questions here. Okay, and I provided the answer also here. Okay, then you guys can practice by yourself. Let's talk quickly the hiring process. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so I'll give you I'll planning to give a number, so that maybe we can create a group and we'll communicate. Okay, I'll share it in the channel once I get a new number. Okay, just yeah, just give me, because if I have my personal number, then it's going to be kind of a difficult for me. So I'll get a number so that the student can reach out to me quickly. Then I'll share it with you guys. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through your interview process. Okay, so interview process will be, it's a hiring manager screening call. Okay, so first one, initial background, like they will ask some basic questions like tell me about yourself and tell me about your resumes and everything. Okay, so next one will be the technical round. Technical round, they will ask like your how do you gather requirement, your methods and tools and scenarios. Okay, the third round, like it's like a behavioral question, so you have to come up with couple of stories from your project. So we call as a star method. Star method mean what is the situation, scenario, task, action and result you have to demonstrate. So at least you have to have 2 or 3 stories to answer this question. So final loop, like you will meet the team or like a senior management. Okay, so here the star method, pretty much we discuss here situation, task, action, result, And based on once you complete one project, I will teach you how to come up with a couple of stories to answer in the interview. That's one thing you have to. So common interview questions, I put it here. You guys take a look these interview questions. There are scenario based questions, and also there are behavioral question also which you need to answer. Okay, so everything is created based on your the project what we discussed today, insurance application. So let me know in the comments, so like our community post, if you face any difficulty, but I'll organize a different session to go through this one. Okay, and your resume, also I think I put in the resume also. Let me show you sample prepared resume. So let's say you don't have anything here, okay, because you don't have working experience, right? So your professional summary, you pretty much write everything what you practice here. And skills, you definitely include this one: business, functional, BRD, FRD, user story, process mapping, workflow. Okay, because these are the keyword your application software is tracking. If you don't include this keyword, then your resume will be not picked up. Okay, don't worry, these are optional. If you don't know, don't list in your resume. Okay, that's one point. So your practical experience, and you can write like today we are discussing the insurance claim project, and I think we can enhance the booking appointment and authentication flows or login flows, and you guys can take a look some sample resume I have put it here, and how you can prepare update your resume for your application, right? So first start with the analyze the job description, right? And say your check your keyword. So if your keywords say Jira, BRD, stakeholder management, these must appear in your resume. So first you have to start your reading your job description. Without reading your job description, do not apply anything. Okay, and also some extra phase, like you see functional and non-functional requirement. This sounds like you know subject what you are talking about. Use the exact keyword, and especially talk about your project. If you don't have experience, this will give you a quick response from your um, hiring manager. All right, that's it from my side. You guys have any question, final questions? Okay. uh, Okay, so for the time being, like go to the community post where I posted. Okay, we have a workshop, right? Start there until I get a number. You can submit your user stories and everything there. Then I will reply. Then I'll figure it out to create some channel. Yeah, YouTube. Yes, yeah. That's the only source I have right now to work with you guys. So I'll, as soon as possible I get a contact number, then I'll share you all. Okay. Okay, any other final questions, Emmanuel? Manoj? No problem. Prasad, do you have anything? Yeah, so your first starting point, Prasad, uh, coordinate with any IT development project. Like example, you I don't know if your manager will allow directly to work with IT project, right? Like maybe in your annual development goals, you set up, okay, give me exposed to like any IT project. So what you can start with UAT, you know, right? UAT, user acceptance testing, right? Like Yeah. So ask your manager, like reach out if you know any folks in IT department. See um, how they build the software, how the releases are going. Like, how do you get input from business? Like, do you involve any people like for the user acceptance testing? Right. Usually, what the project team do, they will get a SME, subject matter expert. Let's say I don't know which department, what product you are selling. Let's say you are working for a credit card, okay? So like when we are building credit card, we don't know how to set up a credit card in test portal. We don't know how to test the credit card application in our application, right? So we reach out to business people like you, like in the operations, and we ask help. But in order to do that one, you have to have a permission, right? Like from your manager to work with IT. So the first step, you set a goal as a development or performance goal and talk to your manager, can I get some exposure for a IT project? For once you get that permission, and you can ask a person, like you can see pretty much the IT people on your team, so like your contact, right? Ask, hey, I'm working in operations, I'm doing this job, like I would like to learn how the softwares are built, like I like to help in UAT, right? Like UAT means user acceptance testing, and you can start creating a user manual, like let's say what is current there, and how do you if any change come, how do I train to a new person? Let's say you are working on a workflow, and let's say if anyone join to your team new, right? And without explaining anything, can you write a document to go through that document and the person understand that one, right? So that's your first starting, right? Like write user manuals, support UAT. Once you have that knowledge, and you can start, see if your manager allowed to transfer, like internal transfer. It's very difficult, I would say, but if you are lucky enough, you will transfer. But otherwise, if you have one project like a UAT support and you can start apply outside, then definitely you'll get. But I will connect with you more, like you complete the assignment, I'll connect with you more. I'll give you some different assignment which you can work. I'll show you sample instead of I'm saying what you need to do exactly, because I won't ask you what product you are working, but not in the group call. So I'll connect with you, then I'll give you some assignment, then you can complete, then you can get your job. Yeah, just for the time being, just type in the community chat. So very soon I am planning to get a number just for the helping student. Then I'll share with you. Then we can connect. Otherwise, just write it in the email. The email I send you for the meeting invite, right? If you need any urgent, write it there also. Then I'll reply. But I'll get a number and I'll maybe create a WhatsApp or something so we can connect. Thanks. Okay, no problem. Emmanuel, are you good? All right. Okay. You guys have a wonderful day, rest of the evening or morning, whatever time is. Thank you so much. Yeah. I am going to put it in my channel, so that because this is the question everyone I'm asking, how do I reach you, right? Like that's why I just want to separate, have a contact number, so in case a student needs, so that I can help them. So just give me a couple of weeks, right? So I'll do something. In the meantime, just anything you submit in the community post, what we did, assignment, user stories, until I give you a number, or if you have any urgent queries, just drop an email, so I'll reply to you. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Awesome. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Thank you. Bye.